Got a few Benchmades I'm going to be putting up for sale here, a couple of fixed blades and 3 folders. We'll go ahead and start with this guy first. This one is a Benchmade 140, the Nimravis. This is the full-size knife, not the mini one. As you can see, it's got a straight edge. It's not serrated. I bought this knife used. It didn't come with a box or anything. It does have the sheath. Both the knife and the sheath are in good condition. Now, this does not have the MOLLE attachment or the, there's like another piece that goes here for attaching to a belt so that it hangs lower, but you can attach to a belt via that. But this is all it will come with. The knife itself is in very good shape. I'm going to call it a light user, though honestly, I don't think you're really going to find any signs of use on this knife. It does have the aluminum tan scales. We'll just take a quick look around it. Might be a little mark in there. That could just be dust in there. Yeah, it came out, so it was just dust. Take a look down here. There's a little bit of wear on the edges of the black coating down here. You can see. Maybe some wear right there. Yeah, there's a little bit of wear there in the finish, the tan finish. So that's why I'm going to call it a light user. You will see some marks on it, just nothing significant. It is 154 cm steel. The edge on it, I would say, is factory. I don't feel any defects. It's nice and sharp. I don't feel any chips, dings, anything like that. So this would be a nice user if you're looking for one of these. I love these knives. I have several of them, so I'm gonna let a few of them go. And the sheath is also in very good shape, though nothing really significant to point out. But that is all that's included with this knife, is what you see right there. Next one, this is also a 140 Nimravis. This is an older one. As you can see, it has these thicker G10 scales. Now this one is a user. I bought it like this. Now the nice thing about this one, it is the sought after M2 HS steel, very hard tool steel. A lot of people seek these out. This one, like I said, has been a user, and that's obvious. You can see wear in the coating here. When I got it, the edge was pretty gnarly on it. I took it to my Spyderco sharp maker, and now it's pretty good. It's pretty sharp, and there aren't any real glaring dings or nicks or anything. It's pretty smooth. So it took a little bit of work on the sharp maker, but I did want to smooth that out. And then, of course, you can see there in the serrations, and this is a 140. So know that you're getting a user with this one. Some marks there in the finish on the back. Okay. Got some marks back here in the G10. Some wear on the black coating there in the back. Stay focused. Down here we got some wear. Yeah, so just know that this one's a user. This is the sheath it comes with. All it includes is what you see in the video here. This is that older style sheath. This is rubber here, and then it has like this lock. So you do that. It doesn't really do anything though. The knife can still be removed, even if that's it'll just move out of the way. So I don't really know what the purpose of that is, but there you go. Nimravis 140 in M2 HS steel. Now let's move on to the 3 folders here. First one we'll take a look at is the 755 Mini Pocket Rocket MPR. Love this little knife. I had 3 of these, and I'm getting rid of duplicates, so I'm just going to keep one. This one was a user. You can see there are some faint scratches on the blade here, and it's kind of strange because you can't really feel them. Like you can feel the ridges from the machining on the blade, but you can't really feel those scratches. It's kind of strange. So I really don't know what caused that. That's how it came to me. I sent this knife back to Benchmade, so they did factory sharpen this one, and it still has that factory edge. The factory resharpened edge is very sharp. I did not carry it or use it once I sent it back to them. M390 steel on that. There are two clip styles with this. This is the newer clip style. The other one was like a machined titanium. This one is the spring. Take a look at lockup here. The lockup on these can be adjusted. This is a hex stop pin, so you can actually loosen it and rotate that hex pin if you want to adjust your lockup on this. Take a look at the centering. Look off camera a little bit. It might favor the non-clip side a little bit, but it's negligible if it does. Really a neat knife. Good solid lockup there. I'm going to call it a user because of what's going on with the blade here. And like I said, those are very fine scratches. You can't catch them on your nail. I just wonder what it was used for to do that. See a little bit of wear in the titanium bolster or whatever you want to call that there, subframe. I don't know. A little bit of wear there. Most significant though is there on the blade. A little bit of wear there. So there you go. That's a neat one. I think that one's a little bit collectible. This one will come with the factory box. And inside they have the microfiber cloth is all that's in there. The next Benchmade folder we have is a full-size Loco 808. This is a prototype one. I bought this as you see it. I never used it or carried it. I'm going to call this one a user. The clip obviously has quite a bit of wear on it in the coating around the edges and such. Take a look at centering on it where we got it closed. Centering is favoring that non-clip side. Lockup is solid. There's a little side-to-side play. I've never messed with the pivot, but there's enough movement there. I think you could tighten that pivot a little bit and you'd be fine. This is a large knife. I really like this design, but I got a limited edition mini version, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to sell this guy. As you can see, this is S30V steel, prototype November 2014. And so the clip has some wear. The most notable thing on this knife is right here. There is like a ding in the G10 there, a couple places. So that's the most notable thing, I think, on this one. Other than the clip, but the clip's easily replaced. You will see a little bit of wear in the black finish on the liners there. The edge on it feels pretty good to me. It's nice and sharp. I don't feel any chips, dings, anything like that. So the edge on it's good. Most significant thing, like I said, being that mark right there on the scales and then the wear on the clip. Good action on it. It's nice and smooth. So you may just want to adjust that pivot to your liking as far as... The blade play is not significant at all. If I were going to carry this, I wouldn't even mess with it. There's just a slight flexing there. But of course, you can adjust the pivot to your liking on that. We looked at the centering, which is off to the non-clip side just a little bit. This does include the factory box. And inside the box, we'll have a microfiber cloth, a little axis lock thing, and then the little Benchmade paperwork there with this one. So that's an 808 full-size Loco prototype. And the last Benchmade folder we have here is kind of a neat one. This is an auto triage, model number 917BK Tech ORG auto triage. This is black aluminum scales with a G10, orange G10 insert. I bought this one. I think the guy said it was like new in box, and I'm going to call it a light user. I'm not even sure that the knife's ever really been carried, but I'm going to call it a light user. Now you can see in the G10 there are some like black just from handling. They're a little bit dirty. And then the clip does have some wear on it. And I think that's the most significant stuff that you're going to see. I mean, you will see some marks like in the aluminum, the black finish on the aluminum scales, but heck, that might even just be dust that's in there because it's kind of rubbing away. Really, I think the clip is going to be the most significant thing here to show wear there at a few places along the edges. Little scratches in there. Otherwise, this is a sharp knife. It's really sharp as it looks. I'm sure the edge is plenty good too. There's a little mark there in the black that's not rubbing off. Those did. That's just dust. So, neat knife. Back here, oh, that's kind of rubbing away. Let me look off camera here. Might be a little wear on the edge right here in the black finish. A lot of this stuff is just rubbing off, though. I think it's just like skin or dust that's collected in that black finish. So this is an automatic knife. Centering on it looks spot on to me. And everything does function as it should. There's a lock in the back here that stops the axis bar from moving backwards, so it cannot open. So then you click that up, pull the axis bar back, and the blade fires open very nicely. It's got a very nice action on it. And then it works just as an axis lock. You just have to overcome the spring tension there to get it closed. Put the lock on. And the cool thing about this one too is it has the seatbelt cutter. It is also automatic. So you just pull this switch down. There's no safety on that. And you've got a seatbelt hook or to cut cord or seatbelts or whatever you want to do. So there's a little bit of wear on that. I would say that's factory stuff though. I don't think that's wear from actual use. The edge on it feels nice and sharp. And I'm going to take a look at the blade here. Let's do that. So we got the model number 9170. Not really much to point out on the blade. The blade steel is N680. I don't really see any significant wear on the blade. I mean, you might see some slight like whiteness along the edges of the blade in the black coating, but it's just not significant. Then there's some dust on it. The edge itself, I would say, is factory. I don't feel any defects in it, chips, rolls, dings, anything like that, and it feels nice and sharp. So this is a neat one. I have a manual triage that I'm keeping, but I'm going to pass this auto along to somebody else who will carry it and use it. So there we have a few Benchmades for sale, a couple fixed blades, and a few folders.